Welcome back to the channel. We're back near the sim rig after a long time, and at B34ST mods with a Z 54 commented, my main concern is, can you transfer the shifter slash handbrake mount to the left for a right hand drive setup? So today, that's what we're gonna do. So my setup's a little cramped, stuck in the corner of this desk setup, but as you can see on the right side of my sim rig, there's a shifter, there's a MagSafe phone mount, which I'll show you how to do, and a really messed up, cheap eBay handbrake. So right now, we're gonna disassemble all this, and I'm gonna walk you through it so we can put it on the left side of the rig. So, of course, the first step is to move the seat all the way back. So as you can see right here, if you pop up this cap, there's a 90-degree mount with 2 bolts that connect these aluminum frames on the 6s-Slim sim rig, and they're very easy and simple. So if you loosen this bar can move this way, and if you loosen this, it can move up and down. So let's get this mouse pad off so you can see the entire setup. So as you can see right here, these things that slide in between the aluminum extrusion rails, those hold the bolts on the 90-degree mounts as well as on this mouse pad. Looking at it from this angle, there are 4 bolts that you could loosen to move the shifter assembly and handbrake assembly forward and back, but these 2 top bolts can help remove the plate itself. So to get the shifter and handbrake off as well as the MagSafe mount, I'm just gonna remove this entire thing, and so I don't have to mess with these bolts. These bolts are, I think, aluminum, and they're pretty easy to strip, so I'm not gonna mess with that. Now that I have this entire assembly loose, I can lift it up and see how my accessories are connected. So first off, I need to unplug this handbrake and the shifter. So I'm just gonna let it sit like that on the handbrake because it's a cheap handbrake, and unplug all these accessories. So I use this monitor arm, and I added some brackets right here from a TV mount to use this for my 32-inch TV. So now all I have to do is tilt the TV out of the way, tilt this monitor out of the way, and now I could easily access whatever I need on this side of the sim rig. Let me show you real quick. So now I have easy access to see all the wiring. Six Sigma provides you with these twistable, zip tieable wiring mounts, which actually help quite a bit. So let's see where my handbrake is plugged in. So if I follow this cable all the way here, I could just unplug it right here and then twist this off and get it disconnected. Sorry for the mess, but as you can see right here, the TH8A shifter is very simple and easy to disconnect, so that helps quite a bit. So now we can just lift up this entire rig, and I'll show you it when it's on the ground. So as you can see right here, this is a suction cup, which you might be asking what that's for. It's actually my MagSafe phone mount that I have on my sim rig, which this just attaches like that, and it really helps a lot when you don't know where to put your phone while you're on the rig. So these are all 10mm bolts and nuts that I got from the hardware store. You could find them at your local AutoZone, Lowe's, Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's, or if you're in Europe, I'm not sure, to be honest. But after we take these off, we could take off the handbrake and the shifter. So it's good to have these spacers on all your nuts and bolts. I just like them. It's an added security so they don't loosen over time, which you'd be surprised, yes, bolts loosen on a sim rig. So it is a lot easier to remove this arm if you remove the seat, but I don't want to go through the hassle of removing this entire bucket seat with the mount and stuff. So I'll just show y'all by hand. So these 90-degree mounts are here on the front, sorry for the dust, down here to take off the caps, down here, another cap, down here, another cap, and up here, if you could see, another cap. So it's actually very, very sturdy. I feel like when I'm shifting on the sim rig, I'm going to break my shifter, but I'm never going to break that arm because it doesn't float. It is attached to the main arm right there, as well as towards basically the rear of the frame, the bottom of the frame. So with my trusty Milwaukee, you don't need this. You could just use an Allen wrench, Allen key, whatever it's called. I'm gonna get this huge arm off. So the easiest way to get this frame up and out, or this shifter arm, is actually not what you think. Most people would just disconnect all these separately and just slide the arm out, but no. If you disconnect these caps by pulling them off, and snap off, as well as one up here. Careful not to hurt your TV. There you go. You could just easily slide the entire mount off and away. Actually, you do not need to loosen this 90-degree bracket at all, because this actually holds the main frame of the entire rig. So you don't have to loosen this at all. I was mistaken. But you do have to loosen the one back here, so you could get the back part of the arm off. Just a quick note, if you ever lose one of these, don't worry. Six Sigma gives you a bunch of extras, like a Lego set, just a bunch of extras. So as you may saw in the past few clips, one of these fell down this main pipe. It's down there somewhere. It's probably at the bottom, but as far as I could tell, this rig's sturdy enough where I won't hear it rattling at all. So I'm just gonna leave that sucker down there just to rest, and I can just grab another one because they give you extras. So don't fret, don't worry. So this arm is the back arm for the rig. It's easier to get to, so let's get this one out. And just like that, it's out. So as you can see, the entire frame is made out of extrusion aluminum. That means it has these channels within the aluminum that can hold these, I forgot what they're called, but I'm just gonna say they're bolt holders. So when you put the rear arm back into these, you could just literally slide it on, wiggle it, and I'm gonna show you a weird angle of what it looks like. But if it's like this, it's good. If it's like this, as you can see, it won't fit. So basically, line it up like this, and if you could see that, it just slides easily to the end. After that, you can just tighten these two bolts and you're on your way. Not only did they provide extra zip ties, extra caps for the aluminum extrusion, extra bolt holders, and extra wiring stuff, they also included a lot of extra random bolts and accessories, which were organized at first, but I threw them all in this bag. So yeah, that really helps when you lose some of these, some of the bolt holders. And as I said before, everything's adjustable on my previous video. Everything is customizable. So when you're fixing anything or moving anything on a sim rig, keep everything loose so you could just shift it as necessary as you're putting in arms and stuff. So right here, make sure that these bolt holders are facing outward for your shifter, and that you have some bolt holders right here for anything that you might need, whether it be a mouse pad or whatever else. So let's take off this cap and slide the bar in. All right, so I took off this cap so I could slide the bar straight in. Just make sure the bolt holders are aligned correctly, and you'll know because it won't fit in if it's not aligned. So there you go, that side's in, this side's, see, keep everything loose so you could easily twist everything and put it in. So I just realized I'm not gonna need any of these on top because I don't use my mouse with my left hand. So I just realized for right-hand drive users, you could put your keyboard and mouse on that side separately away from this side. So I'm gonna take off this arm again and remove all these bolt holders. So I'm putting these bolt holders on the opposite side because I like my shifter mount to be a little bit more sturdy. And it might not make any sense right now, but oh, I just slid all the way through. That's my fault. All right. So I'm putting these on this side, the driver's side, or towards the inside of the cockpit, just because I like a more sturdy setup. And I know that doesn't make any sense right now, but I'll show you. All right, so you see the shifter mount? I don't know what this is, to be honest. I think it's a little bit of grease on my handbrake that just melted on there. But anyway, instead of mounting it like this, I like to mount it like this so that it's a little bit more sturdy. And that's not to say that this isn't sturdy. I just like it closer to me. I have smaller arms. So let's try to mount this right here, and then we could adjust it later. So I'm not sure if you could see right here, but here are the bolt holders right here, or that's what I call them at least. You just gotta line them up and twist them in by hand first. So I like to twist it up all the way to the front, if I could find it. Right now I can't seem to find where these are. It takes a little bit of fiddling, but as long as you have some patience, it works out. There you go. See? Found one. And then the others are easier to find. So not only can you move it forward and back, you can move it up and down quite a bit. And I know it just seems like a centimeter or like an inch of movement up and down, but that really makes like the difference when you're trying to replicate your real life car to where your shifter is and where your handbrake is. And I know that sounds dumb, maybe to some, but for people who use a simulator as a training tool, they want their shifter exactly where the shifter is in their car. They want their handbrake exactly where it is in their own race car. So when they're in VR or just training for muscle memory, your body will react exactly where it needs to react for the car in competition. One thing to note when putting this shifter mount on, it does like to lean away from you, which I don't really like that. So I used these spacers last time, and I forgot why I used them. Now I remember. Right in between right here to tilt it back this way. So let me show you how to do that. Very, very simple. These are just hand tight. So I'm just gonna loosen everything. That's why I keep them hand tight. I'm gonna loosen this top bolt. And I'm gonna tilt it this way. Add a spacer, try to catch it with the bolt. That makes sense. I don't know if you could see it, but I'm gonna try to catch it. Oh, and it fell. So, just a little bit of trial and error. Yep, it fell down, but just a little bit of trial and error and you'll get a hang of it. Everything's adjustable, which is a good thing, and sometimes a bad thing when you're trying to, like, if you're impatient like me, you want to get on the sim rig, it's a downside because you just want to set it up. But these small adjustments will save you later. If, let's say for me, my back was hurting when I was on the sim, I was wondering why. It's because my steering wheel was too far away from me. So once I fixed that, it was a night and day difference, and yeah, my back pain was gone. Oh, I dropped it again. So I just encountered a problem where my seat is hitting the shifter arm, which is a good thing because now I know I need to move my seat this way. So these two adjustments need to be popped off. I can just adjust this bolt, that bolt. Same on this side. Scoot the seat that way, just a few millimeters. I should be good. Usually I'll skip over this, but I want to show you all how easy it is to adjust everything. So let's do it right now. So popped off all the caps, loosen this one, same on the other side. There you go, simple. And now I can scoot it up and back, simple and easy. So I'm gonna keep that loose while I mount everything, so then I could adjust everything like I want to at the end and tighten it up. So let's get the shifter mounted and all the other stuff. And of course you can't find the final piece of resistance, or whatever you say. I'm not French. All right, suction cup mount, and then MagSafe. MagSafe is a must, so good to have. All right, let's get in the seat, let's put on the wheel, and then let's see how it feels. So I got the steering wheel, hop in the rig. It's a little annoying to get into now, because it was built for left-hand drive, but put on the steering wheel. Feels weird being a little to the right. I might need to scoot a little bit, which, am I touching now? No, I'm like a millimeter away. Perfect, I'm gonna scoot back to the right and just get used to it. There you go, I have like a millimeter, like a finger's length. All right. Oh my God, having my left hand pull and shift is so weird. All right, definitely this needs to be, hello? Oh, wow. I hand tightened these. These are tight. God. Yeah, this needs to be a little bit more forward, in my opinion. Where did I think my L key's down here. Yeah, right here. All right, let's adjust this on the fly. Let me move. Ow. Funny bone. Funny bone. God. Do Europeans say funny bone when they hit their elbow? Or do they say something else? Comment down below if you're from Europe or not from the States. In the States, there's like a part of the elbow you hit. Maybe this is universal knowledge and I'm sounding stupid. But there's a part of the elbow that you hit, and if you do hit it, it doesn't feel that good. It makes your entire system like numb. Let me see if I could still get... Let me tighten this first, but if you hit that part of your elbow, your entire system goes numb on your left arm. And they call it the funny bone, even though it's not very funny. Alright. There we go. Let's try to lock this down. There you go. It still feels like it's leaned away. Ow. That's going to be an issue. Maybe. I didn't have that. Oh, it's because I'm scooted back. There you go. That's too close. How about now? It feels so weird. Like I have nothing to compare it to. Alright. Yeah. So, can you right-hand drive swap your sim rig? Yes, you can. Oh my god. That feels so weird. Yeah, this is like a good length. I'm gonna scoot back and tighten everything now and put like a time lapse for y'all. Oh, there you go. I'm tightening the bottom and it's bringing this entire thing this way. So like it's not leaned over anymore. Now that I know I like everything where it is, I'm gonna tighten everything, including the seat, and enjoy the time lapse. Make sure you keep this all the way pushed in when you tighten your bolts and stuff. So I know this kind of stuff is the boring part, but might as well show y'all the wiring part as well. So right here, here's my handbrake. I used to have an extender on it, but now let me find that extender. Here's that extension that I had. I could just plug it in right there, but I think it reaches my, let me show y'all. If you have an extensive sim rig like this, you need a powered USB hub. So not only does it provide power for all your USBs, for your wheel, handbrake shifter, it also transfers the data, because one USB power port on your normal computer cannot handle data transfer and also powering everything. So it's good to have a powered one, because without this, my wheel would randomly disconnect in a race, my shifter would randomly disconnect, anything would just be overloaded. Like it would overload the system, if that makes sense. So let's find this and wire manage everything. These are very sharp, so they provide the caps for a reason. Cover it. If not, you're gonna be in a world of pain when you hit your funny bone on it. So yeah, that's for you, Mr. I forgot your name, sorry. There you go, B54ST mods with a Z, 54. Yes, you can manual swap your 6s-Slim from 6 Sigma Sim Racing, and it works perfectly fine. You could easily swap this. You could take it out and like flip it 180 degrees if you want more options, or even for the extreme route, you could drill these holes wider if you need. So now all I'm doing is popping all these caps that Six Sigma provides you, covers up the bolts nicely, and if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You don't have to worry about if your shifter will mount or your handbrake will mount, because everything's adjustable. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, you could adjust the wheel, what do you call it, wheel position, wherever you want. It works out. So now my question is, where am I gonna put my mouse pad? So luckily, Six Sigma provided these extra aluminum bars, this one and this one, this 81. I don't know why they did, because they didn't give me any more of these 90-degree connections, but you could easily find them online, or you could 3D print them if you have a 3D printer. And I'll probably add one of these bars on that side just to have a mouse location. So yeah, that's about it. Let's put these final pieces, of course, on the top, and I'll give you a small overview of the entire rig once I'm done cleaning it up and wire managing everything.
No, 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 just like the wind. With just one touch, I could with just one touch, I could feel my body giving in. With just one touch, with just one touch, I could feel my body giving in. No, 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 just like the wind.
So unfortunately, I ran out of daylight. As you can see right there, the sun set. I have the pretty lights on and the LED light on for some B-roll. I'm still not sure how to do it correctly, but as you can see right here, there it is. Right-hand drive swap on my 6s-Slim. It works perfectly fine. And I added this little arm that they gave me for my mouse pad. I pushed the sim rig a little bit over there and a little bit that way, so forward to the right. Saved me a little space behind here so I could either climb in like it's a roll cage or basically scoot myself way around. It's a little tedious to get in and out, but with the steering wheel off, it really helps. Honestly, not a bad install, not a bad what do you call it? It's not an install, but not a bad adjustment thing, whatever. But yeah, it didn't take too long. That's what I meant to say. It didn't take too long. It's not that difficult. It looks pretty good. It works. So for the person who commented, yes, it works. Go ahead and use my link down below for $25 off. Code Siraj at checkout at 6s-Sigma simracing.com. There you go. And that's it. I'll see you for another video next week on Sunday. This one's a little late one, but this took me a while to get it looking pretty with all the wires and everything. So yeah, I'll see you next Sunday. Peace.